Perhaps he's unaware that the Joint Committee on Taxation, as well as others, have verified that taking this exact approach would extend the solvency of Social Security for decades. What I see as intellectual dishonesty is among those who frankly are open to cutting Social Security, but don't want to come out and say it.
Representative Boyle. Okay, let's hear what he has to say about Social Security. Here we go.
I want to thank the gentleman from Georgia for the compliment. Bird dog, was that it? He is right. I am the bird dog for saving and protecting Social Security. I am that committed to saving this program that I have co-authored, along with Sheldon Whitehouse, legislation very similar to what's outlined in this amendment that would extend the solvency of Social Security through the year 2100. Perhaps the gentleman, and he mentioned the term intellectual dishonesty. I'm disappointed in him using that language. He may disagree with my approach, but there's nothing dishonest about it. Perhaps he's unaware that the Joint Committee on Taxation, as well as others, have verified that taking this exact approach would extend the solvency of Social Security for decades. What I see as intellectual dishonesty is among those who frankly are open to cutting Social Security, but don't want to come out and say it. That's where the intellectual dishonesty lies.
Okay, that was Representative Boyle. Now, I agree with him. Now, he's talking about intellectual dishonesty. You have lawmakers right now that want to cut Social Security, but they are not going to come out and tell you that. They're just not going to do it. And he's basically representing what Representative Larson wants to do as far as the Social Security 2100 Act. He mentioned Sheldon Whitehouse, so Senator Whitehouse has a very similar proposal in the Senate. And this would provide an increase for Social Security, which is good. And it would also extend the program out for another 75 years. And so you have politicians like that want to expand Social Security. That's what they're focused on. Not just protecting Social Security. They want to expand Social Security. You have other lawmakers that are there that are saying we need to protect Social Security. But when they say that, what they really mean, or what some of them mean, I'm not saying all of them, but what some of them mean is we need to protect the program by making cuts so we can prolong the program. We're not adding additional revenue. No additional revenue is coming into the program. We're just going to make cuts. We think there's wasteful spending, so we're going to make some cuts around certain areas. And then we hope that if we raise that full retirement age up, that would provide some more funding for Social Security, because you're going to have people that are not going to be able to collect at 67. They're going to have to wait until 70. And so you don't have to, the Social Security Administration doesn't have to send out as many benefits. And so that's what they're hoping. And they're hoping that that will extend the program. But if it does extend the program, it might be a couple of years, maybe 3 years. But then we'll be looking at the same problem of the trust fund. The trust fund will still be depleting. And so the only way out of this is you need to bring in another revenue stream. You need to bring in more money. And the Social Security 2100 Act, people making $400,000 or more will have to pay into the payroll contribution again. And this is one of those things where they're not doing it right now. If you make over $168,600, you no longer have to pay into the payroll contribution. Everyone who makes less than that, you pay into the payroll contribution. But anyone who makes over that, they're going to pay into that amount. So they'll pay into until they reach $168,600, and then it stops. So the additional money that they make, they no longer have to pay into the payroll contribution. And so what they want to do is they want to do away with that. The Social Security 2100 Act would do away with that. That way you're bringing in more revenue for the Social Security Administration so they can pay out benefits. And then they can provide an expansion to benefits as well. So it's very interesting. And you have a lot of lawmakers right now that they're trying to figure out how they're going to present this, because some lawmakers they're saying flat out, yes, we need to either privatize Social Security or we need to both privatize it and raise a full retirement age, but they're not talking about any type of an expansion to Social Security. They're just hoping, and some of them have even talked about, well, if the economy is doing well, then Social Security will be doing well. If the economy is doing well, Social Security will be better off, but that's still not going to address the trust fund because we need to have more money coming in. And that's the bottom line. People don't like to hear this. Oh, you mean I have to pay higher taxes? But in reality, you shouldn't look at the Social Security contribution as a tax because it's a contribution. You're putting money into the system now to help people who are currently receiving benefits. But when you get to the point where you can retire at 62, 67, whenever it is, you will be able to collect on the contribution, and the people who are working at that time are going to be paying their contribution to help you. So that's how it works. That's how our system works. But when you start trying to make, tinker with Social Security, that's where you're going to mess things up. You have people talking about privatizing Social Security. You privatize Social Security, that means you're going to take a piece of the contribution that people are currently paying right now. You're going to take a piece of that, if not all of that, and put it in a private fund and then have that invested. Well, now you're taking that money out of the Social Security's, money. So the Social Security Administration collects that money and they use that money to pay off benefits. But if you're taking that money and you're investing it on your own, investing it into, the stock market, well, then now the Social Security Administration no longer has money to pay benefits to the people who are currently receiving them. Even if you take a portion of it, because you have some politicians that say, let's just take a portion of it. So you take a portion of it, well, that's still money that's not going to the Social Security Administration to pay benefits. And so that means that they're going to have to rely more heavily on the trust fund that has about 2.7 trillion right now. They're going to have to rely more on the trust fund, and the trust fund will be depleted much sooner. So the privatizing Social Security is not going to work. The raising the full retirement age is not going to work. What other plan do you have? Some lawmakers, that's their only plan. They'll say those two things and that's it. They are afraid to talk about raising taxes. And it's sad because I think if you let the American people know the current situation and how the trust fund is being depleted and the reason why you might need to raise the payroll contribution up 1%, most people would understand that. They would say, okay, I get it. I would rather pay 1% or even 2% now, so when I retire, I'll be able to collect my full Social Security benefits than not pay anything at all or have them raise the full retirement age. And then when I get to the point where I'm going to retire, not only am I going to have to retire at 70 or 69, but I'm going to be looking at a decrease of about 23% in my benefits. So I want to know what you guys think about this. So let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.